What's poppin', y'all? This dude, Lil Rodney, son, woke up a name that I hadn't heard in a minute. I was wondering where this name was at, but I knew he was doing his own thing. This guy's a hustler, and that's none other than Almighty J, formerly known as YBN Almighty J. Now, YBN Almighty J, or just J or Almighty J, whatever he's going by now. I remember he was trying to come back into rap with a new name and new presentation and all of that, but number one thing I do know, sidebar, that they need to bring back YBN when GTA 6 comes out. That's how y'all are going to become millionaires, by the way, or multimillionaires again. Okay, so back to the topic. He came into this DDG beef with Rodney's son, Lil Rodney's son, or Reggie. And this dude, Lil Rodney's son, went in on Almighty J. So I'm going to play you guys that clip first.
Almighty J says he top 5 worst rapper of all time. I feel like Almighty J, you're so ass that you're not even top 5 worst. Like, you so bad you don't even make the top 5 worst list. Like out of all of that's ass, you so ass you don't even get a top 5 mention in the ass list. Like, we don't even mention you. I never heard a nigga say cut on that new Almighty J.
I mean, is he wrong though? Like, if I told somebody to name 100 rappers in the 2010s or of the SoundCloud era, 100 rappers, do you think, number one, naming 100 rappers would take a long time, but do you think that they would even think of Almighty J? I don't think so. So he might have a little bit of a point here, but this thing gets worse because Almighty J, he does what he does. Now, if you guys remember, one of the things that boosted Almighty J's perception, if you want to call it that, he was a young buck, was him getting with Black China. I think this is after she was with Rob Kardashian. I don't know if it's before or after, but I'm almost certain it was after because she was with him in the same era where Tyga was with Kylie. And Almighty J came in behind that, 2018 or after that. So Almighty J comes back, and yo, this is crazy.
I'm gonna show you how easy this shit game for niggas to stop playing me. This little shit one DM away. This little shit one DM away. Say one more thing about me online, Reggie. Troll me one more time. Troll me one more time. Say one more thing about my music. Troll me one more time. On my life, I'ma fuck this bitch that you be on stream crying about.
So in that clip, the person he's DMing is the ex-girl of Reggie, a.k.a. Lil Rodney's son. And I'm like, yo, they're moving like that? That's crazy. Especially because Almighty J, it's Almighty J. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is like a 2018 type of thing. Now, man, and the chick's like, I'm in Houston, what's up? And this is the funny thing, Almighty J, like a lot of y'all probably like, man, Almighty J not lit, he fell off, blah, blah, blah. 2 DMs, and she's already moving like this. And this is a type of chick in your city where you're DMing her, you're liking every photo, you're commenting. If you're commenting, that is crazy. That's even crazier. But yeah, you're following her every day, and then here comes Almighty J, all that time that you spent probably still in message request, not even message requests, hidden requests. They just keep adding a new request folder and down bad. Now, I don't think that this is really anything bad if it's his ex-girl. Like, he sent her back out. It's a catch and release. Now, he might be tender or heartbroken about it or whatever the case may be. I don't know that situation, to be honest. But she's back out there in the wild. If someone else takes her, like, aren't you just getting her after him? I thought the whole deal was having her before somebody. Or maybe if you want to do the rapper ego thing is taking her from the rapper while she's with him. Man, that's a different story. You're like, yo, I just took that up off of you. Your possession. As DDG would probably say, like, yo, I just stole your ball. I just caught a steal. That's a different story. But this dude, Rodney's son, just doubles down even more. I'm starting to like this guy. Before, I was a little bit off-put. I'm going to play you guys the clip first.
Nobody was talking about you in the last 3 years, Mud. Like, who says cut on that new Almighty J? Somebody please name 5 DDG songs off the top of the head. Not including Moonwalk in the Calabasas remix. He remade the song 20 times. Like, bro. Niggas really getting me tight, bro. Niggas really getting me tight, bro. Like I won't go at these niggas every day of my life. I will dedicate it on hating on a nigga. You niggas don't know the level of hate I will go to really make you understand I'm a D1 hater. I will hate on you niggas every day. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And half of you niggas don't got more money than me. I've been stacking, nigga. What? Y'all talking about? What? Like I said.
Now, one thing I don't like is the whole nobody got more money than me argument, because money just gets brought into arguments where it has nothing to do with anything. Nobody's talking about money here. Nobody's talking about, maybe they're talking about clout, right? The people that watch these guys and that like them don't like them because they have money. They don't even know how much money they have. They like them for whether it's their personality, whether it's how entertaining they are, whether it's their interaction, whether it's who they're affiliated with, a number of other things. So if you're going to compete in front of the audience, if you are going to joust in front of us and we're in the crowd, joust about something that we care about. Like, yo, knock the dude off of his horse. Don't talk about like, yo, I've actually got like a crazy donkey back home. Not a donkey, but I've got a purebred dog. We don't care about the purebred dog at your crib. We care about that horse you're about to hop on and who you're going to knock off. That's what we care about. So go ahead and joust. Don't tell us about that nonsense. We don't care about your bank account. Respectfully. Glad you're doing okay, though. But he goes in on DDG. Now, 5 DDG songs is already difficult, especially if you take off Moonwalking and Calabasas. I think that's dirty. And this is what made me like the dude even more. A hater to this level, oh man, he won me over. I gotta F with him. Like this type of hate where he says, yo, name 5 songs, but you can't name the song everybody knows. So he's starting us off on a handicap on a challenge that we weren't gonna win anyway. Which is wild. Now the Almighty J one, yo, he should have said, name one Almighty J song. People would have struggled with that. I got one, though. It took me 15 seconds. I'm completely honest. I'm transparent here. It took me 15 seconds for one Almighty J song, and that was Chopsticks. I think that was the first song that he blew up with. After that, I'm lost. I couldn't name an Almighty J mixtape. I couldn't name an Almighty J EP. And I know I've listened to at least 5 unique Almighty J songs in the past 6, 7, 8 years, but I couldn't name more than Chopsticks. And I had to sit down and think for that one to come out. I think most people, you just tell them, gun to your head, name one Almighty J song, it's over for them. They're going to say a prayer, say goodbye to their mother and father, and it's going to be that. That is true, though, as well. Nobody on God's green earth has ever said cut on that Almighty J. Well, when Chopsticks came out, they were definitely saying that. But yeah, since this decade, no way. Nobody. I think, now, unfortunately for Almighty J, he got screwed over because I think it was Lil TJ's people or whoever had jumped him when he was in New York. Somebody had gotten him jumped, and he got beat up so bad. I felt really bad for him because he was a young dude. It was bad. And I think that hurt his image because he was with Namir, and they were coming out post-TK, and there was kind of like this image of like, yo, these guys aren't to be played, not to not be played with, but it was going to hurt their image. But Almighty J comes back with boss moves. I respected this. I want to play you guys this clip right now.
Another thing, since you talk about your song, right? My song got too many udu. The producer that made that beat, my producer, Reggie, he's under me. Shout out Macheo. He's under me, Reggie. The producer that made that beat to that song that you dropped on stream, my producer, Reggie. Hold on, chat. This ain't got more money than me. I got more money because I've been stacking. Why you didn't pay Macheo for that beat? Chat, go on Spotify and try to find that song. I'm going to show y'all how pussy I am. Why you didn't pay my producer for that beat, Reggie? On my life. Why you didn't pay Macheo for that beat? You been stacking and you getting money, right? Why you didn't pay Macheo for that beat, Reggie? Chat, go on Spotify and try to find that song right now. I'm going to show you how much of a pussy and a whole ass I am.
Now, I didn't even know this Reggie dude rapped, but this just goes to show you, like I said earlier in the video, Almighty J is a hustler. I didn't know Almighty J got producers signed under him. I didn't know that. And to take the dude's song off, he's like, hold on. You didn't even get that cleared with us. Oh, you trying to flex those numbers? Those are my numbers. I own that beat that you put on there. So we're going to take that down. Hey, this is boss stuff. Because he's saying, yo, whoever said cut on that Almighty J is saying, well, they're not going to be able to cut on whatever song you want. And that song is a high performer. I'm looking at it on Spotify right now. On stream, the EP, there are 4 songs. At the Door, On Stream, ICFWT, and OK Cool. It was dropped May 22nd, 2025. And On Stream, grayed out. Can't even play that joint. Oh my goodness. Almighty J, hold this W. Listen, like I said, this dude, Reggie, Lil Rodney's son, he won me over. I'm actually going to check out the rest of his music now, a couple of other songs. He won me over because he's a pure hater and he's going against everybody. He's the underdog. Now, earlier when they were trying to force him down our throat with Kai Cenat, I'm like, man, this industry plant. He's not actually an industry plant, but I'm like, yo, you guys are trying too hard to force this guy down my throat. Pause. I'm chilling. I'm off that. But now that he's taking on everybody, 20v1, and he's a hater, a super hater, a self-admitted hater, and he's funny, yo, I'm with. But he took the L on this one. Almighty J, hold this W. Reggie, yeah, he caught the L on this one. It is what it is. He took your song down. You got it off of his producer. So his producer was supposed to be getting paid. So Almighty J was getting paid, or supposed to be getting paid. This was a boss move that Almighty J ran. Like I said, the girl part, it is what it is. I didn't give him the W off of that. It's this move where Almighty J catches the W. I didn't think, if you told me, like, yo, you're going to give Almighty J a big W in 2025, I would have even said, if I even talk about Almighty J, I'd be shocked. But here I am. Hey, all praise where praise is due. So shout out to Almighty J for that one. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.